Good afternoon, I'm Rob Boskamp, and you're listening to South Texas Midday. Thank you for joining me on this MLK Day. It is Monday, January 19th. The North Padre Island Seawall will get some much-needed repairs as city officials recently announced that renovations have been fully funded at over $15 million.
Over $11 million we identified to be able to fully fund this project now. And so this morning's meeting was to inform the residents here along the seawall that the project is back to being fully funded at $15.5 million.
That was City Manager Peter Zanoni speaking to KIII News. He said tax increment reinvestment zone funding helped fill the gap, making it possible to start repairs later this year. Zanoni said by closing out several completed projects and using money from a contingency account, all within that fund, they were able to provide the additional $11 million needed.
It's along their property. We need to make sure that as a partner, we are taking their vision into this. That was a big part of the agreement when we first started this discussion, and we're committed to making sure that we see that through.
That was District 4 City Council member Kaylin Paxson, who represents the North Padre Island area. She spoke to KIII News. City officials said construction on the seawall is expected to begin after Labor Day. South Texas is expecting another cold front later tonight that will drop temperatures and bring along some rain for tomorrow and Wednesday. As part of Corpus Christi's cold weather response, police officers will monitor individuals they encounter during patrols to determine whether they need assistance. This may include offering transportation to a warming shelter or providing blankets. City officials also say they are in communication with the Good Samaritan Rescue Mission and Mother Teresa Shelter, both of which currently report they have enough room. The city will continue coordinating with those organizations in case additional needs arise. Just in case you haven't heard, there's a new program in the KEDT-FM Monday morning lineup called The History of Our Freedoms with Dr. William Chris. Lon Gonzalez has details on the new show and its creator.
Take a legal background, a love of history, and political science, and you have the makings of something unique. The cool thing about this combination is it's a new feature on KEDT-FM. It's called History of Our Freedoms. And Dr. William Chris is a guide through some interesting stories that combine history, law, and the Constitution. It all started, he says, during his work on a thesis.
It's a real grind to try to find something that somebody else hasn't already looked up or written about. And so in my case, I decided to do legal history when I was a student because I was in a group of historians who didn't know much about law. And so when I'm practicing law, and now I limit my practice to appellate law, most of what I do, or most of the time people call me, it's when they need somebody to do some lawyer stuff who has a real appreciation of history.
Dr. Chris admits a love for political science and is often called upon to share his knowledge of politics on local news stories, but adds constitutional law and the country's founding are two of his favorite areas. The new program he heads up covers a wide range of issues that involve specific scenarios in history, coupled with insight into laws that are made easy to understand.
The thing that takes the most time is distilling really complex ideas into digestible, bite-sized pieces.
Putting the episodes together isn't always easy, but the results can certainly be satisfying, especially with topics as diverse as history and law.
The thing that takes the most time is not getting the idea, not accumulating the information, not deciding what you want to talk about. It's actually cutting down what you have to say into its most elemental form so that you can fit it within a 2-minute or 3-minute soundbite. That's the really interesting and fun part.
And when it comes to layman's understanding of the law and the Constitution, Dr. Chris says the situation for those things isn't always stable.
It's like everything in life. It comes and it goes, and it round and round we go, And one of the things I like to say is that history doesn't repeat itself, but it does rhyme a lot.
And you can check out The History of Our Freedoms with Dr. Chris Monday mornings around 7:45 on KEDT-FM. For KEDT News, I'm Lon Gonzalez.
In sports, over the weekend, the Corpus Christi IceRays extended their win streak to 6 games with a pair of road victories over the Amarillo Wranglers. IceRays won 4-3 on Friday, then 3-2 on Saturday. They continue to hold on to the 4th place spot in the NAHL South Division standings. In college basketball, the UTRGV Vaqueros men's team took down the first-place McNeese Cowboys Saturday in Southland Conference action, 79-76. They won in front of over 2,100 fans at the UTRGV Fieldhouse. Graduate student Marvin Marvin McGee III led the Vaqueros with 17 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 three-pointers. Redshirt senior Jalen Ricks scored 14 with a career-high 4 three-pointers. Sophomore guard Jalen Washington contributed 13 points with 3 assists, and graduate student Zay Blake added 12 with 4 rebounds and a pair of threes.
I feel like my teammates did a great job of trusting me, throwing me the ball, something that we work on. Coach told us beginning of this week at practice, like he believed that we was going to turn the page and turn around, and that's all we was doing, like the week ahead of this game. Like we was putting in the work, we listened to Coach, we followed his steps, and we came out with the victory.
That was McGee speaking about Saturday's win. The UTRGV men's team improves to 7-11 this season, 3-6 in SLC play. They will face the Southeastern Lions tonight at 6:30 p.m. at the UTRGV Fieldhouse. Meanwhile, the women's team fell to McNeese 70-54 on Saturday. They will next play Texas A&M-Corpus Christi on Thursday in the latest chapter of the South Texas Showdown rivalry series. Continuing on with college basketball, Texas A&M-Kingsville women's team avenged a loss to Texas A&M-International with a dominant 69-52 win over the Dust Devils in Laredo on Saturday. 3 Javelinas scored in double figures, led by redshirt junior forward Kaylee Howell, who scored 19 points on 8 of 13 shooting and added 6 rebounds and an assist. The men's team could not keep up with Texas A&M-International as they fell 74-61 on Saturday. The Javelinas, now 4-4 in Lone Star Conference play, shot just 40% from the floor and made only 5 three-pointers as they fell in their 3rd consecutive conference contest. Both men's and women's teams will be at Angelo State University on Wednesday for conference games. Meanwhile, back in Corpus Christi, TAMUCC men's basketball rolled from start to finish to defeat Southeastern 68-56 Saturday at the Hilliard Center. The Islanders, now 10-8, 6-3 in conference play, jumped out early and built a 20-point halftime lead to control the pace.
I thought they played together, especially in the first half. It was basketball, first and foremost, and balls moving, and we were able to get some good shots, either point blank or wide open at the three-point line. That was on the offensive end, they played composed, even if it had to go deep in the shot clock and change sides of the floor with the basketball to get a weak shot. And so that was, after being gone and being at home, sometimes at home, student athletes, sometimes they want to take a few me shots. So I was proud that they played basketball, even being at home.
That was Islander men's basketball head coach Jim Shaw speaking after Saturday's win. The Texas A&M-Corpus Christi women's basketball team also used a big third quarter to defeat Southeastern 68-65 on Saturday. And as mentioned, the women's team will play UTRGV Thursday in the latest chapter of the South Texas Showdown rivalry series.
I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today.
And today is Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Here are some facts about the observed holiday. King's actual birthday was on January 15th. The infamous I Have a Dream speech by Dr. King was delivered in Washington, D.C. on August 28th, 1963. In 1973, Illinois was the first state to adopt MLK Day as a state holiday. Texas was one of the last states to officially recognize MLK Jr. Day, officially doing so in 1991, years after it became a federal holiday in 1986. The holiday has been recognized in all states since 2000.
And when we allow freedom ring, when we let it ring from every village and every hamlet, from every state and every city, we will be able to speed up that day when all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual, free at last, free at last, thank God Almighty, we are free at last.
And that is the latest news and information on South Texas Midday. I'm Rob Boskamp. Your community arts calendar and more is on the way.